I don't make a habit of offering introductions to these poetry of protest and struggle videos. I like to let the poems and songs speak for themselves. But today is special because this is a theme edition dedicated to Gaza. All the work that's presented here for the first time was composed after the latest round of Israeli genocide in Gaza began, inspired by those events, with one exception, Sylvia Brandon Perez's poem Blood Mixed with Milk, which first appeared in her book titled Psalms for the New Millennium. But the connection between Sylvia's poem and recent events should be obvious enough. I am also reprising a great deal of what has been shared previously in our Poetry of Protest and Struggle series that is either by Palestinians or related to the struggle of the Palestinian nation. The last two segments of this video are not directly related to Palestine. I include them to remind us that without the arms of empire, as Catherine Beeman puts it in her poem, Embrace Peace, the Zionist project would be unable to proceed. It also seemed appropriate to reprise Chris Brandt's poem For Henry Kissinger, with which we conclude, in order to remark the passing of Kissinger in December at the age of 100.
What is peace? What is peace? Where does it live? Where does it begin? Could a body become water? Could a body become the sea? Could a body become the river? Just until the bombing stops. Just until the bombing stops. Just until the bombing stops. Could salt tears become shields? Could salt tears become shields? Could salt tears become shields? Just until the last bomb drops. Just until the last bomb drops. Just until What is peace? What is peace? What is peace?
I imagine the babe who lies with his small eyes closed forever, nursed from your breast, and the hand with which you kept him to your last breath from death, changed his diapers, nestled him toward the nipple bursting with white milk, that cream our breasts create for the nourishment of our small ones. I imagine that perhaps minutes before the smart bomb, before the scream that sealed his scream and yours for eternities, I neither understand nor care explaining, he might have bitten you with that smile of infants when they nurse, smiling from a taste of godly feasting, and then a noise and a world in flames and clusters of emissaries of death on the wing, and a roar that maybe left you deaf there toward the end, so you couldn't hear your baby scream, and left you blinded so you could not see how your blood mixed with milk in the mouth of an innocent.
Call out the names of the dead so that we may mourn. Call out the names of the dead. Call out the names of their killers so that we may rage as we mourn. Call out the names of their killers. Call out the names of those who march in protest so that we may give thanks as we rage and mourn. Call out the names of those who march in protest. Call out the names peace, justice, freedom, Palestine, so that we may hope as we give thanks, rage, and mourn. Call out the names peace, justice, freedom, Palestine. And when the time has come to call out the names of all those who remain silent as we are calling out these names, let us pray that yours will not be among them.
Not gone yet. Don't know how. Don't know why. Still not dead. Should have been many times over. In the first Intifada of 87, I survived a pointed M16 at my forehead when my mother started wailing hysterically. I survived interrogation of IDF soldiers at the checkpoints of the West Bank when I hit a poor soul in my basement of a job, about 5 soldiers insisting that the man is hiding inside. Now this exodus of Gaza in the aftermath of October 7th brings back memories of ugly past. Watching children melting from white phosphorus, bombing civilians for 30 days and counting. A friend calling me from Rafah, asking me to pray for his entire family of 17. While talking to him, the sound of the bombs dropping in the background. Another friend calling me from Gaza City, telling me his house is gone and his son is almost gone, telling me this is the worst it's ever been. His head bandaged, his spirits in tatters, don't know what to say to console him. I cry daily, non-stop, and light a candle. I'm so beyond words. My nerves are shot. My wisdom is gone. I'm still alive, not the civilians in Gaza.
My grandfather and home. 1. My grandfather used to count the days for return with his fingers. He then used stones to count. Not enough. He used the clouds, birds, people. Absence turned out to be too long. 36 years until he died. For us now, it is over 70 years. My grandpa lost his memory. He forgot the numbers, the people. He forgot home. 2. I wish I were with you, Grandpa. I would have taught myself to write you poems, volumes of them, and paint our home for you. I would have sewn you from soil a garment decorated with the plants and the trees you had grown. I would have made you perfume from the oranges and soap from the sky's tears of joy. Couldn't think of something purer. 3. I go to the cemetery every day. I look for your grave, but in vain. Are they sure they buried you? Or did you turn into a tree? Or perhaps you flew with a bird to the nowhere. 4. I place your photo in an earthenware pot. I water it every Monday and Thursday at sunset. I was told you used to fast those days. In Ramadan, I water it every day for 30 days or less or more. 5. How big do you want our home to be? I can continue to write poems until you are satisfied. If you wish, I can annex a neighboring planet or two. 6. For this home, I shall not draw boundaries. No punctuation marks.
Palestine's the answer. What was the question? Why the red line in the tan sand, splitting the world into irreconcilable camps, oppressed oppressors, exploited exploiters, haves, have nots? Why the flashing cherry red moral lights, demanding decisive action now? Why siren urgency of squawking shofars, of searing saxophones? Why are anti genocide guerrillas rioting in the moment? like jazz masters, rallying scorched earth actions, cutting off business as usual, choke points. Why the occupations of great train stations, the rerouting of railroads, why the blocking of bridges, why are ports being held hostage from the Hudson to the Pacific, why the sit-ins in offices of Lilliputians posing as lionized leaders, why are corrupt Congress members and sleazy senators steer manure messages being blown out of the water? Why are Moby Dick-sized lies of bought and bossed windbags getting shot down one by one? Why do hellfire missiles of murderous, mustard seed hearted men incinerate our holiness, coat our hearts with white phosphorus, strangle our souls, killing us softly with their wars? Palestine's the answer. What was the question?
She's in the room for hours at a time, throughout the day, doing God knows what. But stories are scattered on the floor, and the skinny white wires hang like spaghetti that was thrown against the wall. Young woman on the verge of professionalism, vaping dreams of freedom like a viper, slithering its way through a maze of concrete, and God knows what else, all to hide the pain, to bury the feelings, to numb the emotions, and the room wasn't enough. So enter the ancestral spirits, stuck plumb in the mouth every moment. Words try to escape lips, frozen, ancient memories trapped, tears fall, or is it rain? Alone in the room, she acts like it's all right, and she acts like it never rains. And the dry existence leaves parched memories of a war-torn mother's womb and destinies unfulfilled. Joy is her name, a fake sense of happiness she feels as she spits out the splinters of dead dreams and betrayal. She watches the rain without curiosity. What is next? A quiver of laughter emerges instead of the tear that was fighting to come out. It was just rain. Hold on, she rationalizes. Instead of coming closer to what is truly near, she stares blankly at the dim, crusty wall. Will it be cold tonight? Will God save her and the struggle she was born into? Her eyes stare away, far away. Where are you, my angel of mine? You dream of freedom in my belly. Do you know how to come home? Home to self and home to us. There's no easy way out, just through. Just go through the middle, like a warrior. Light up and shed the pain. There's no balm, no easy way through and out. It's all a mirage that reflects back on you and Mama. Where are you going? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If I could take all your pain, and I would in a moment, and wait for the tide after the rain, I would hold it so you could be free. Like an ancient warrior in battle, like a Shay in the midst of gunfire. It takes a powerful love to die for something or someone you believe in. That is the nature of the mother and the revolution. That is what we owe the earth, the graves, the 7 layers of heaven, and the chaos we have created. Still, she sits in the room, pasty walls, frozen. The rain falls hard. God is crying. Wake up, wake up.
I love you. I write a word for each second we can't touch. The sweetest love, it hurts, we can't touch. I still push, we were united through ancient dust, divided by governments. Revolution in front of us, the body is supplement. But when you sleep on cold prison floors, it helps to know I laid next to you, keep it warm. And when you trapped behind these prison walls, it's good to know we travel with no ceilings, kissing a storm, your face calm with the light of the moon, midnight likened to you. These memories keep me fighting for you, and when it's true, I'll be right next to you. I never left, will never leave you, the air that I breathe. Until we free, I proceed with the sharpest of speed, but with the wisdom of the trees. Listen to the breeze, that's me. The rhythm speech on your skin, raindrops kissing your chin. For us the reason that I'm here, and I do it again. You're not far in a distance, waiting now, coming. You're not far, resistance, holding I'm coming. You're not far in a distance, waiting I'm coming. You're not far, resistance, holding on. Today I heard your voice. I'm not sure, but it's too soon to be diagnosed with disorders. Had a dream we were crossing through borders, sweeping up checkpoints, crashing their quarters. New beginnings while we free to love again. Toasting up a celebration that was long enough to predict. We sick and tired, but worse, we tired of being sick. Then I awake, wiping the sweat off my forehead, doing more calisthenics, getting headaches instead of getting energy fed. I'm getting enemy red, so I can move through the battlefield without too many dead. It's too many words said. Enough songs for the head. When is it time for these lines to actualize what I've said? I feel stuck, travel through quicksands, more progress than being trapped in this lion's den, using this cold blood as my pen. I ain't happy now, I wasn't happy then. At least then I had you to help me through. No more struggle, gotta win. You're not far in a distance, waiting now, coming. You're not far, resistance, holding now, coming. You're not far in a distance, waiting I'm coming. You're not far, resistance, holding on, holding on.
Here we are on this clouded island, adrift, but safe in burrows and dens, yawning in dawn's milky light, washing our bottoms, barking at our partners, snarling at the news, venturing out to suckle babies on buses, hunt in the high street, scent pheromones in the coffee queue, lick our wounds in the quiet of diaries, feed on our screens, on stories of those other furless mammals, beloved, feared, not just like us, caged, cornered, frenzied, tortured, slaughtered, disemboweled, prowling, cowering, howling in a land birthed and nurtured by ours. Everywhere on God's grey earth, doves beat broken wings, cry out in the dust, as over Gaza, hawks reel and scream, released from wrists ungloved in the West.
The wars of Palestine are never ending, insisting to never leave any time. As the many years pass, as I get older than a stone, as the millions of olive trees uprooted, the wars keep coming back with vengeance. My nightmare keeps revisiting. I run away from it, seeking refuge in the woods, with a majestic lake greeting me camping, and the fog lifting at sunrise. Gaza keeps erupting with bunker bombs. I keep screaming for the bombs to stop dropping. I keep praying for a miracle. I keep thinking, this is a bad dream. And when I awake, everything from the previous day is just the same.
Realize the scale of the catastrophe. Usually, you find kids at the beach, bathing in water and sand. Everyone forgets that our beach is not for things like this. Alone, I remember the salt of wars and realize the scale of the catastrophe. Every time, I find myself looking for the children of Bakr family. I couldn't find them running in the streets, on beaches of Gaza. They are still running inside that photo. We'll leave the sea alone. Only when I'm at the beach, I remember the clouds in the sky. Some of them got there before me. Some of them arrived with me. And all of us, after a while, will leave the sea alone, glorifying its own memory.
Embrace Peace. This is dedicated to Arthur Flower, a Syracuse professor and poet I met at a festival. I have embraced peace, sister, brother. I have embraced peace hard and long. I have embraced peace so hard and long, sister, brother. My arms ache. But peace has not embraced me. Peace will not embrace me, sister, brother, will not wrap me in its arms until the arms of empire are shorn away, sunk into the quicksand and tar pits. When we've shorn away, sister, brother, the arms of empire, when the arms of empire sink into the quicksand and tar pits, then, sister brother, will peace dance me. Then will I dance, will I dance, will I dance in the arms of peace.
For Henry Kissinger. Is it too late to curse you, Henry? Is it time to have the years obscure your crimes? Time to close that chapter, let bygones be gone, give it a rest, let it be? No, it is not too late, Henry, and thus begins our curse. Be it never too late. Be the voices you hear in your dotage, your victims' voices shouting, assassin, thief. Because you sat well-tailored in handsome offices and sent others out to prove your power. Because you wrote, with proper tactics, nuclear war need not be as destructive as it appears. Because you found white phosphorus a useful tool, and napalm a tolerable arm of diplomacy, and Agent Orange necessary to policy, and tiger cages. Because you didn't understand why we should allow a country to go communist on account of its own people's ignorance. Because you enjoyed the company of Pinochet, Marcos, Duvalier, Stroessner, Somoza, the Shah. Because you regretted Laos and Cambodia, well, we should have found some other way of doing it. Because you killed Allende and shattered Neruda's heart as surely as if you had held the gun yourself. Because you accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. Because in the mirror you see a god, Hermes, Loki. Because you have a mind for deciding life and death and think it pure injustice of history that you're not still doing it. May the insects refuse to touch you. May the worms spit you back. May you never know decay's comfort and rest. Let the voices follow you always. Let the burning children run toward you forever, clasping you in their flaming arms. Let your eternal waiting room be the stadium in Santiago, filled with silent prisoners filing past. Each one stops to look at you, and you, with all the time in the world, cannot look away. None mentions bruises, burns, missing fingernails, teeth, faces. Each only recites a name: Elena, Guyenne, Christofis, Babijin, Laureano. And one of them hands you a snapshot of his daughters, another his unused high school registration card, a third the unfinished history of her family, a fourth holds out a stuffed penguin, one at a carnival moments before his arrest. The next carries nothing, having no hands, gives you only her look, and whispers a poem, a hymn to the wind. The line of the disappeared goes on, and you will stand rooted, seeing them at last. And always, always will you hear the songs of love Victor Jara continues to sing, even without his tongue.